Every day in Los Angeles, I see so many people without homes. Like this guy. Who is he? Mentally ill? Lazy? Or violent? Or this guy? Maybe they've just been through hell. There's got to be somebody who wants to help him. There's got to be somebody that won't walk away. I grabbed a camera to document what is being done for these people, to find the men and women who are dedicating their lives to reaching out and helping them.
Who are these homeless people? Who are these homeless families? Why are they homeless? This is not rocket science. People are homeless because they can't afford housing. Anybody who experiences homelessness is suffering from some degree of post-traumatic stress disorder. They are traumatized, immobilized, depressed, and then people want them to jump through hoops and to fix it and to go to work and go do this and come to appointments, and they can't. It's an accident of birth. If you're born in Beverly Hills or you're born in Skid Row. You know, we're all the same.
There are a lot of misconceptions about homeless people. A lot of people think they're very lazy or they don't want to work, but what we don't realize is that there's so many obstacles in their way. You know, not having an address, not having a place to shower, or not having a voicemail when they go to apply for jobs. We're a ragtag group of volunteers. We feed about 150 to 250 homeless people every night of the week.
I've worked here since 1989, 18 years, I guess. We, I think, realized that they're safe here probably for the first time for some of them in their lives, and that we're actually honest adults that really care about them and will do what we say.
One of my first cases was a little 14-year-old boy who presented like he was, 35. Was really guarded and agitated and angry, and for the longest time wouldn't even tell us his name. Kids come here from all different situations, usually that it's situations of abuse or that they're running from a foster home where they don't feel secure or safe.
And I was devastated that kids were living on the street. 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds that were thrown out of their homes or were abused so badly that they chose the streets over home. I became involved when I moved to Los Angeles, actually about 20 years ago. I was a social worker with a bachelor's degree and was looking for employment. At the time there were thousands and thousands of kids on the street, and we saw easily over 1,000 kids in the drop-in center a year. And so I started doing the work with the mission of finding a good place for these kids to live.
It's a funny story. I actually started right out of high school. And early 94, 95, the program had a grant to hire youth to come in and talk to the youth, present youth, about substance abuse. And I applied and I got accepted, and it was a one-year program, and I started working for the agency part-time, on call, and 12 years later, here I am.
So I came out of college kind of blazing green, gonna save the world, really energetic, and came for an interview at our day center and saw some of the kids and saw their situations and heard a little bit about what LAWN does, and I was hooked. And I knew that this was the spot for me.
I'm running out of time to live. I think I need to survive.
And over the years working here, that's just been really validated that this is the population that I really have a heart for.
So when I was 16 years old and I got my first car, And I was driving down the street for my first joyride, and I was driving down Santa Monica Boulevard and saw about 250 homeless people in line with newspapers on top of their heads and shopping carts and bags, and they were really cold. And that was the changing moment in my life, because I realized I was in this car sheltered and warm and happy, and I had a roof over my head every night, and these people didn't even have anywhere to go, and I couldn't live with the fact that I had so much and not do something back.
I wanted to do something for children living in Skid Row hotels after reading an article about it in the LA Times. I got involved in working in the nonprofit world in 1980 when I founded my first nonprofit agency. It was called Para los Niños in LA Skid Row. And in '88, I realized that homeless families were cycling through every shelter in town. And at the end of the year, they were still homeless. And at the end of 2 years, some of them were still homeless. And I stopped all my other work to create Beyond Shelter. And what I did in 1988 was create a program model that was focused on getting homeless families back into permanent housing, not helping them get shelter. Once they realize they're going to get into housing, even their facial expressions change, and people look you in the eye and they talk to you more clearly, and their shoulders are back and they dress better, and their hair is fixed when they come to visit to appointments, and it's transforming because they have hope. And our program is dedicated to helping them rebuild their lives, recognizing their right to housing, recognizing their right to their own control over their lives, and expecting the best from them, and we get it. You deserve this, and we're going to help you, and we'll help you in little steps, and you're not going to fail.
They don't have a future. Why should they think about school and education and a job? Because they're going to be dead by the time they're 18.
It was bad. Like, I was on the streets, and I was with my parents, and they were like drug addicts and alcoholics. And then when I moved my grandma, it was like, she like treated me bad, like crap.
The emotional, psychological scars are sometimes far worse than any physical scar, and yet you can't see them.
Then I got on the streets, I started doing bad stuff, robbing people.
Unfortunately, that causes people to just see only the outside. So they may see an angry kid, or they may see a drug-using kid, or they may see kids who are in one way or another not following society's rules, and just think bad kids, bad parents, and not really understand where all that sort of bad behavior is coming from.
My canteen's about gone, down to my last suit. Here come the deputy and his troops.
Other people may see kids with tattoos, piercings, mohawks, kids who look like they're gang members, people that society may say, oh, I'm afraid of. But once you really get to know them, you see the beauty in every human being.
It was kind of stupid. Before, I really wanted to go to the pen. I just wanted to be a part of something that my uncles are a part of. I wanted to be a part of that.
From there, I was on the streets, like literally on the sidewalk, so I had to, fend for myself.
These kids ended up on the street thinking the streets were better than home, which was devastating for me. So I felt like it was my job, my mission, my calling, if you will, to provide homes for these kids, loving, nurturing homes, teaching them that they're worth every second of our time and our energy.
Your full-time job is being our friends, because you all advise us and watch over us with such tender care. You may say you work at a shelter, a group home, or a placement, but we see these places not as that, but as our home.
And I feel like when they come here, it's great to see that transformation of them starting to dream, like something goes off, like in their head or in their soul, and they start to feel that they can do something. Oh, maybe I could be a social worker, or I really like drawing. Maybe I could be an artist, or Maybe I could be something other than a gang member. Maybe I could be something other than a homeless person or a criminal. And that thought has never crossed their mind before. And it's amazing to see that switch.
I decided to step my game up and help my community, you know, and to help people around me. I was involved in the Upper Bound program and for 2 years, and I just showed them that, hey, you know, I'm a good person and I like to give and I like to lead and not follow. And I won a Martin Luther King Award there.
I'm working with you today, and I'm going to stick with you as much as I can, and let's see where you end up in 2 to 3 years.
And from there, I got an award when I went to this leadership camp.
You're changing their lives and they're changing yours, and you become a better person.
I went to Sacramento, and there I talked to the legislators about, you know, things that are going on in LA and more rights for the youth and all that, and basically a youth advocate for Los Angeles.
You can be here, you know? And when you know it, when a kid sees it in your eyes that you know that they can become something, then that's when they start to look at themselves and realize that.
She will become strong. She will face challenges either with relationships, friendships, or even death. But she will make it through and stand tall.
It's very easy to get involved. You just have to show up, put on gloves, and you can help serve people. And it's an amazing feeling to be on one side of a table and looking at someone else and knowing that you're making a difference and that you can help people.
I don't know why more people aren't doing this kind of work. And I don't know why more people aren't trying to help fund this kind of work, because if we relied completely on government funding, we wouldn't do 80% of what we're actually able to do.
We have to believe in each other. We have to invest in people.
Those of us who can help have to, because most people in our world spend each waking moment just trying to survive for one more day. And so those of us who can help them do so must. We absolutely must do so. And I can't imagine being able to turn away and not respond. I don't know how people can do that.
The more and more I spoke to these people, the clearer their dedication became. Years and years of their lives have been spent fighting an uphill battle against chronic homelessness, abuse, neglect, and judgment. The reward in their work shine through their eyes in their proudest moments, moments of families finding homes and children finding families. The silent resiliency of their wills while comforting those caught in the chaos of poverty proved their success is not measured by circumstance, but through the success of those in need. According to these people, America's pursuit of happiness lies in serving others.